Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing the top 5 must-have units in Anime Last Stand. This top 5 list is based on things such as DPS, placement cost, total cost, support capabilities, and status effects in order to rank these units. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what your top 5 looks like. Let's get started. So the first unit is Giorno at number 5. So on placement, he's doing 5 million every 7.4 seconds with a 45% crit chance and 56 range. He currently is 750 to place, so that is, you can place him on wave 2 after placing your farm unit. And he does have the slow effect, so he reduces their movement speed by 34%. And he has the life control passive, so he drains about 1% of the enemy's max HP every hit, which is really great for bosses. And then we can start to upgrade him. Right now he has an AoE circle, so upgrade 2, upgrade 3, he gets live spring 4th, which buffs his damage, and he still has the same passives. He just has a bigger AoE circle. Upgrade 4, upgrade 5. Alright, and on upgrade 5 he gets massive tree sprout for 110k cash, which turns him full AoE. He still has the same passives, just does 192 million damage every 6 seconds. I do have glitched and glorious enchants on him, so those are buffing him further, but he's still a really great unit, which was hybrid on placement, by the way. Then we have 200k, and finally 500k for the final upgrade, which sends him to 356 million every 6 seconds, with the same crit chance and 102 range. So now he is full AoE, massive AoE circle, covering a good portion of the map, and he gains the ability 0, which sets the base HP to 1 and sends all enemies on the map to spawn, slows all enemies by 90%, and decreases HP of all enemies by 10% after using the ability, and he can attack for 30 seconds. Alright, next we have Gremmy at number 4. He is 650 on placement, hybrid on placement, doing 1.1 million every 3.3 seconds. He is hybrid, avatar, and glorious enchants on him, so his attack effects are pretty cool. He has a small AoE circle currently. Yeah, so what makes Gremmy scale above Giorno in my opinion is his ability, this random effect. So he applies random to all enemies hit. This basically means every time he hits an enemy, he applies a random effect. He can apply burn, he can apply crippled, he can do Gojo's effect, he can do Goku's effect. He has every effect in the game with every attack. So he basically freezes, stuns, time stops enemies, he cripples them, he hemorrhages them, causes bleed, causes dismantle, everything. They gave him every single ability in the game for some reason. And he's really cheap to place and really cheap to upgrade. So we have 1.1 million, 50 range, 3.3 seconds, and 45% crit chance at upgrade 1. When we start to upgrade him, pretty cheap. Upgrade 3 we get auto detonation, which does nothing, but he gets a bigger AoE circle. Keep upgrading him. We get strongest meteor. Now he starts spamming meteors. Right, yep, he just spams meteors in that AoE circle, doing 47 million every 2.2 seconds, insane DPS, and he's only avatar. And we have 65k, and then we have 100k, so in total he's doing 61 million every 2.2 seconds. Now I do have triple S SPA on him, and S stat damage, but he's doing 61 million every 2.2 seconds, which is insane. Constantly applying this effect, this random effect. It's crazy. And he has a nuke, which does 15 billion damage to enemies in range with a 900-second global cooldown, so pretty decent. At the number 3 slot, we do have Godly Ultra Instinct Goku. He is 1500 on placement, and I currently have the Glorious Enchant and Avatar on him. So he's doing 1.5 million every 3.75 seconds with a 45% crit chance, and 43 range. So yeah, he's a godly unit. And what makes him number 3 is in fact his godly passive, which is plus 100% team elemental penetration. So what that means is, let's say for example the enemies are grass or they're nature type units, and you bring a fire type unit. So that fire type unit is going to be doing double damage to the enemies. That is a really broken passive ability, basically doubling your unit's damage. Yeah, that basically carries him all the way up to number 3. And he also does have great DPS stats. So upgrade 1 is 2.2k, pretty cheap. We keep going. Right now he's doing a AoE circle, throwing a type of spirit bomb at the enemies. Does he have any passives? Nope. Except for his Divine Mastery, which applies Divine Mastery to enemies that get within this circle of him. So basically they just take more damage and they get slowed for a little bit, which is the best passive in the game. Currently doing 20 million every 4.8 seconds. Small AoE circle. Keep upgrading, he's still pretty cheap. So we get to Supreme Kamehameha, which is 50 million every 4.5 seconds. Just a slightly larger AoE circle. He just jumps up and fires that beam at them. Still pretty cheap to upgrade, 29k, 34k, 80k. At the 80k upgrade, he gets Honed Body, meaning all enemies on the map take 25% more damage until they die, with a 750 second global cooldown. Pretty good. Currently doing 91 million every 4.5 seconds, 121 million every 4.5 seconds. And now the upgrades are starting to get a little expensive, so you might not get to this upgrade stage on a 15 wave progression map. But the final upgrade is 500k, which takes him all the way to 202 million damage every 4.5 seconds with 105 range. He is not full AoE, so just an AoE circle, but that's, I mean, he doesn't really need more than that. And he does have the ultimate Kamehameha skill, doing 100 billion to enemies in its path with an infinite global cooldown. So at number 2 we have Sun Jinwoo, Godly Sun Jinwoo. He is 2.5k on placement, and unfortunately I do not have any good traits on him. Like, I spent 2k rerolls for Scoped 2, like, it's insane. But anyway, he is 2.5k on placement. I do have the Glorious Enchant on him. We're not going to look at his damage or his SP or his range because I have horrible stats on him. I have a horrible trait on him, but we're mainly going to be looking at his passive. So on placement, he does have the Shadow King's Wrath. So he permanently slows any enemy that enters the map by 5%, and they take 5% more damage permanently. Necromancer, so he revives enemies at a 50% chance with double the HP. And he does 50% more damage to bosses. And Shadows Who Fight also deal 15% more. I don't know what that means. But yeah, he's basically slowing all enemies, and he's a summoning unit. So upgrade 1, 3.5k, 5k. Then on upgrade 3 we get Shadow Commander. So I'm pretty sure that's just a new. So yeah, he summons another unit right next to him, which can also be upgraded. So I guess that's what this passive does. So he does 50% more. Alright, so he's buffing his shadow units, which were the units you sacrificed, if you do recall. We got 30k, 40k. Right now he's doing a big AoE circle. Big AoE circle with 66 range. This is with Scoped 2. We got 50k, 60k. And at 75k we get Monarch's Dash. He's just summoning more units. These are the units we sacrificed. I'm not sure if they keep the same stats as before, as when you sacrifice them, but yeah. Right now he has 4 summoned units. Still doing a big circle AoE. We got 90k, 120k, where he gets Shadow King's Domain, so deals 20 billion damage to the entire map. And time stops all enemies in range for 20 seconds. Additionally, increases the damage of nearby shadows by 100% and personal damage by 50% for 250 seconds with a 500 second global cooldown. He doesn't gain any more passives. Currently doing 7 million with my horrible trait. And max upgrade, he gains nothing else. But he currently has 1, 2, 3, 4 summons, which can all be upgraded separately. So upgrade him. He's doing 1 million. I'm not sure if this scales with his trait. It very well might. He's doing Hemorrhage. He's doing Bleed. He's doing Mutilate. So afflicted enemies receive 250% of the unit's damage over 8 seconds and take 10% more damage. And then he's basically anti-regen, which is insane. And finally, my number 1, unit in Anime Last Stand is Godly Gear 5 Luffy. So on placement, he has 2.5k on placement. I have triple S for damage, range, and SPA. The only thing I'm lacking is glitched, but hopefully I can get that tonight. But right now he's Overlord and Glorious Enchants, doing almost 6 million every 3.3 seconds on placement. And so he is number one because of his sheer DPS. So his Godly skill permanently slows the enemies on the map by 15%, and they take 5% more damage permanently. So it's an alright Godly skill. It's nothing too crazy, but his DPS it's like I fully expect him to be nerfed. I fully expect him. So I upgrade 1, 4.5k, 13 million. Cheap upgrades, and on upgrade 4 we get Defeater's Aura, which I'm pretty sure is Conqueror's Haki. So he does go full AoE on upgrade 5. Cheap upgrades, doing 59 million every 6 seconds with Overlord. And then he has the Conquered effect, which applies Conquer to all enemies. Afflicted enemies take 8% more damage and have their movement speed reduced by 100%. So it sets their movement speed to 0, basically. These guys are getting one-shotted, so it's not showing. And then he has the Liberating Warrior. So when he's stunned, he dodges the stun and gets a 15% damage buff and a 10% range buff. And enemies whose HP is below his damage are slowed by 10% for 5 seconds. Enemies HP above take 10% more damage. So he's just buffing his damage overall. And then he's anti-stunned for 30 seconds. Crazy unit. Huge. So he's full AoE, massive range. He's not even glitched. We have 35k, 40k, cheap upgrades. And an upgrade now we have Kominori. Now he's not AoE anymore. He's large circle AoE. But his damage is like tripled. So he's doing 151 every 3.3 seconds. Then we have 300k, where he gets Exceed Imagination. So upon activation, he gains 25% damage and 25% range for 30 seconds. Then after, he loses 10% damage for 30 seconds, doing 167 every 3 seconds. And finally, he's doing 179. He gains another attack called Ultimate Gun. This is a nuke, so 110 billion, plus 20% of current enemy HP, including bosses, to all enemies. All enemies hit receive 50% increased critical damage for 100 seconds. So not only is he top 1 DPS in the game, he also has what might be the best nuke in the game. 1,000-second global cooldown. So it's crazy. Oh, it's a cutscene. Yeah. Insane unit. The best unit in the game right now. Sunjinu is a close second, but his DPS is just way too much. This is only with Overlord. Like, with Glitch, he's easily doing 300 million, 400 million with less SPA. Crazy unit. But yeah, that's it. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.